question about the Cavs before we get into the topic you wanted to hit. Who's going to lose more games this year, the Cavs or the Browns?
It's funny you asked that because someone tweeted that at us, and I was like, well, you would think it's a no-brainer. But with the way the Cavs are playing, they may – these are regular season games.
Yeah. Well, the Cavs are going to – or the Browns are going to lose 14. I think we all agree they're going to lose to the Ravens, right?
Oh, you meant in 2014 versus –
In 2024 Browns versus the 24/25 Cavs.
The calendar year of 2025.
No, not calendar year. The entire basketball season.
No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. The way you worded it, I thought you were saying from here on out.
No.
Games.
No. So the Cavs have lost 4 games. The Browns are going to lose 14.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think the Cavs are going to lose 10 or more games the rest of the season?
I mean, it's possible.
I
don't see it.
If you had to bet right now.
I'll bet the Cavs under 10 losses.
Under 10 losses?
Yeah.
Which would be
like under 10 more. So like the 14.
Under 10 more.
Wait, under 10 more.
Where was
under 10 more?
What was the Golden State Warriors?
So it's a great time. So I'm glad you asked that because that's going to lead us right to the
73-9,
topic.
right?
Yeah,
no,
7-3-9. Right now,
point.
if you look at the Cavs' records, these are the best records in basketball at the moment. The Cavs at 24-9 have the best record in basketball. The Thunder in second, 27-5. Celtics 24. Knicks 24-10. The Grizzlies have 23 wins, 11 losses. So to put this into context, because I think it is very important to give a little context to some of these numbers. The Warriors through 33 games. The Cavs are 24-9. The Warriors were 31-2, so slightly above. They are currently on a 72 win pace. That is the Cavaliers right now, which would be one shy of the Warriors' 73-win regular season record. They have an .879 win percentage at the calendar flip, so when the season goes into 2 years in the first part of the year. That is the 4th best win percentage ever. The history of the league when the calendar flips. And Steve, take tagboard here full. And the other teams that have had that same level of success were those 2015-2016 Warriors who lost in the NBA Finals. The 07-08 Celtics with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. They won the championship, and the 95-96 Bulls, who also won the championship. Bull, we kind of laughed at it earlier in the season.
Yeah.
We said, can they catch the Warriors? But I think it's time to start having that conversation. Yeah. Can they catch Golden State?
I don't know. I mean, maybe not quite catch Golden State, but I don't think they're going to lose more than 14 games.
Me neither.
I'm with Earl. I think they'll win between – I think they're going to win about 70 games. I mean, they started off, 15-0, and now they won, 14 of their last 15?
They started 15-0, so since then they're 14-3, yeah.
Yeah, but
they lost 3 out of 4.
It was 3 out of 5, I think.
It was the 2 Hawks games.
Right, but I think they've won. I think they're 14. I believe they're 14-1 in their last 15 games, or 13-1, something like that. Because they have an 8-game winning streak. They lost that Heat game, and they won a few, or whatever game, and they won a few before that too.
I know they was 12-1 in December.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Bull might be on to something though.
So I mean. Yeah, there's some. I mean, they're playing some really tough games coming up. You got 2 games with Oklahoma City coming up. You got 2 games with Dallas coming up. They're playing Indiana. They're playing Boston. So they'll probably drop a few games here and there. But have the Cavs ever lost less than the Browns? Probably not. What's the best record? The best record Cavs have ever had, 68, right?
The Cavs?
Yeah.
66.
Oh, 66 that year with LeBron.
66 and 16.
So 16. So the Browns. What year was that?
That actually, no way. Hold on.
It ain't the only.
That was 2018. So.
Yeah, no. So it wasn't. So the Browns have never lost more games than the Cavs in the season, which makes sense because one team plays 16, now 17, and one team plays 82. But I think it's going to happen. I wonder if it's ever happened in the history of sports that an NBA team in a city has lost less games than the NFL team in the city in that same year.
Would you consider – so I'll look up because the Raiders were still Oakland and Golden State. Does that count as the same?
Yeah, the Raiders probably lost more than 9 that year.
Would that count as 15 or 16? Which record should I look at? It was the 2015-16 season for the Warriors.
So you got to look at the 15 season.
I'll look at the 15
for
Raiders
the
record. Hold up.
And the Raiders sucked, so they probably lost more than 9 games that year.
They lost 9 games that year.
Exactly. So it was tied. Tied. All right, what about with the Bulls?
So Chicago in 95.
The Bears probably weren't that very good that year. Although I could be wrong. Oh, the
Bears lost 7 games that year.
Okay.
So you're
So it's never happened, as far as we can tell.
No, it happened that year. The
Bulls.
Oh, you're right.
Warriors was a tie.
You're right.
Hey, this
Oh, you're
feels
saying the
like
Bulls, yeah.
Only in Cleveland, don't it? It feels like only
This
in
might
Cleveland.
be the first time an NFL team in a city loses more games in a season where both teams played the full amount of games. Now, it's certainly not in the bag. The Cavs could lose 16 games and still have still win the most games. No. If they went 67, it'd be 67 and 15.
Yeah.
So if the Cavs break their record for most wins, they will still have more losses than the Browns.
I'm just really having a hard time wrapping my mind around the fact that they're going to break the Warriors record.
You don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it.
I would love for it to happen.
I don't think they're going to quite break it, but I think they're going to win
so
70.
many. It's so many variables that go into it. Like your team essentially has to be healthy for the entire year. Like,
and you can't have one bad. Like they lost 3 out of 5.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
You can't have a streak any worse than that.
It's so hard to do that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
but we're almost at the halfway point of the season. We got 8 games.
If they break the Warriors record, they have to win the ring.
Oh, of course.
Because I think it was the Bulls that had 72-10 on the thing without the ring. Like, if you break their record, like, you can't do what the Warriors did and not win it. Like,
by the way, the Thunder might break the record too.
Thunder are playing
their
incredible.
record's kind of the same as the Cavs.
The Cavs play the Thunder next week, and then the following week again.
Yeah.
Both games on national TV. One thing about this current 8-game win streak, though, guys,
that
I want to mention. We talked about it a little bit on Tuesday, but then they won again on New Year's Eve on Tuesday night. They're not just beating teams. They're beating teams badly on a night-in, night-out basis. Each of these 8 wins have been by double digits. The average margin of victory during this 8-game stretch is nearly 15 points. Their point differential per game is at 12 right now. It's actually second in basketball behind the Thunder, who are 0.1 percentage points better, so literally neck and neck. But we're talking like historic levels of winning. Seriously, the Celtics last year, who won 64 games, their point differential was 11.4. Cavs this season, higher. You go back to the best team in the year prior, in 2022-2023. The Celtics won 57 games that year to lead the NBA. Their point differential, 6.5. They're at double that.
What was the Warriors that year?
If you go back to 15-16, the Warriors that year, 10.8. A full point fewer than
How
where
about
the
the
Cavs
Bulls?
are right now. I'm not sure if ESPN goes back to the 90s, but I can find that for you. It's not on this tab. But we're talking about legitimate levels of historical beatdowns the Cavs are handing out on a nightly basis.
The how many times do you think the Cavs in a game have scored less than 110 points? Take a guess.
2.
That's correct.
Probably like
2 times.
One more stat for you real quick on the dominance.
And they haven't scored below 100 the entire season.
One more stat on the dominance, then I'm going to look up the Bulls' point differential. The Cavs have 21 double-digit wins this year. They have 29 wins, 21 have come by double digits. Only 6 teams in the league have 20 or more total wins. They have 21 wins by double digits. Only 6 teams in basketball have more than 20 overall wins.
How many teams offensively, Mike, are not averaging at least 114 points a game?
Not
are averaging below 114 points. Is it a lot of teams?
In the East, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in the West, you have under 114.
Yeah.
So 9 in the East, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the West.
Okay, so listen, think about this for a second. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Cavs have only scored below 114, if I remember correctly, 3 times out of 33 games or whatever it is. I think they've scored below 114. And yet 19 of the other 29 teams, that's 2/3 of the league, are averaging less points per game, less than 114. The Cavs have scored at least 114 in all but 3 games, I believe.
So you got to score to beat the Cavs.
I think
it's crazy.
I think the Cavs can break the record. Will they? I don't know. And the reason why I say I think they can, I think JJ Redick put it best. He says, you got to play damn near perfect basketball to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. And the main reason is because they actually 100% believe in whatever it is that they're doing. And when you have a team that's this bought in, that believes in their system, that's still installing their system, that didn't really have that steep learning curve, and that plays hard every single night, then it's possible to reset every single record that was already out there. I think the way that they're built, the fact that they play 10 or 11 deep, it makes everybody involved. And when you have everybody involved, I like to call the Cavs a balanced attack of mass destruction, because that's exactly what they play like. That's exactly who they are. And as long as they continue with this philosophy and continue to mentally buy in and stay focused and be willing to sacrifice to do whatever they got to do, then I think they can beat whatever, they can break whatever record that's out there.
Let me ask you, how do you think JB feels right now?
I think JB is looking at this as a learning lesson, right? Sometimes you know how once something passed, once a season passed, or once a situation ends, and you can look back and see what you did wrong and look at what you possibly could have did better. I think that old school philosophy and being a little stubborn and stuck in his way, not being innovative, I thought it kind of caught up to him. And this is the results of it. You got to be able to adapt with the change, with the times.
What is this? You think so?
Oh, I think he's pissed.
What is
the hell was this Evan Mobley?
What is Detroit's record right now?
Detroit's 15-18. They're the 9th seed in the East right now. They've already won more games this year than they won all of last year.
He's made them competitive.
He's doing a really good job in Detroit.
They're competitive.
He's the right coach for a young team that needs to find.
And then when you want to win, you got to get another coach.
Yes.
I don't think he wants that reputation. But
no, he doesn't. I found the point differential for the 95-96 Bulls.
20.
Yeah.
So the Cavs are 11.9 this year, second in the NBA.
Yeah.
I can't find a team. Now I had to do some some calculator math, so it's not sortable. But the 95-96 Bulls had a plus 12.3 point differential, so slightly higher.
Yeah.
But going through every sortable season on ESPN.com to find that, I can't find anything higher than that.
Yeah,
so we're talking like
part
the
of it
echelon.
is the abundance of three-pointers. Now, you could argue, well, the losing team's going to shoot more three-pointers too. But part of this, Mike, isn't the bad teams in the league are really bad right now, aren't they?
I actually don't agree with that, no.
No?
No. Right. I think if you go back.
Who are the worst teams, the Jazz and the Wizards?
The Pelicans, who are just having a horrendous season from hell, everyone's hurt. The Jazz and the Wizards and the Hornets all are the four worst teams, 2 in each conference. They all have some dudes. Like New Orleans, everyone's hurt, but granted, they have some legit players. Utah, they were here last week. Like U-Bowl came out.
I thought they looked better than
Washington. They may not have a ton of guys. Depends on what you feel about Kuzma and Jordan
Charlotte
Poole.
got some dudes,
but the Hornets have some guys like Brandon Miller could play, LaMelo can play.
Miles Bridges, they got some cats.
Yeah, they got some guys. It's hard to win in today's NBA because on any given night a team can get red hot from 3, and the Cavs. It just gives them a little more credence to what they're doing.
You say they got some dudes like LaMelo, but he's not a winning player. You've said that yourself.
He's still a competent basketball player.
Yeah, but there are too many guys that are AAU players in the NBA.
I don't disagree with that, but he's still a guy. He's like he can play. LaMelo
you wouldn't fear LaMelo?
I'd foul his ass. I'd hack him.
You're hacky.
I'd hack him.
Melo a lock for 3 threes on any FanDuel ticket, just to let you know.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, a lock for 3
threes.
He averaged 30 points.
13 a game.
I'm just saying. No, I mean, I look at the Cavs, and to me, like, when I hear Kenny Atkinson talk about this team and making sure that they, stay locked in certain areas, he always lets us know that the Cavs are not going to always shoot the ball this way. And so when they don't, you got to make sure that you do the little things that can create winning habits. And when you have a team that's been together this long and you got a selfless leader like Donovan Mitchell, it closes that communication gap. And I think the communication is the main reason why the Cavs have been so dominant. That and chemistry on and off the court. Like, we can do a deep dive into all these advanced numbers about how many 20-point wins they got and all this. Well, every single advanced stat that we look at and say the Cavs is on a historic pace, that starts with chemistry and communication.
Yeah.
They couldn't be doing what they're doing if they didn't have the chemistry and the communication and the belief that what they're trying to do is working and can be attained. So
they are the anti-Browns.
I'm mad that JB took the joy away from Darius Garland.
Well, but now we've taken
he got it back, though. Yo, when I seen Darius get that and one, I ain't gonna say everything he said. He was like,
know what he said.
And effing one. I was like, I've never seen Darius that animated in my life.
Make Darius joyful again. There you go. Magic. No. MDJA. Madaja. I don't know.
Brad Daugherty said he was playing as like the most complete guard in the NBA right now.
Is he going to make the All-Star?
Yeah, I disagree with that. But
Is he going to make the All-Star game?
I think he will.
Mikey?
Darius?
Yeah.
I think he will.
So we talked about this on the Ultimate Cavs show yesterday. He is having an all-star caliber season. I don't think the Cavs are going to end up getting 3 all-stars.
They should. They got the third best.
He should.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. He deserves to be an all-star.
But when you have a record that's this good, doesn't that have to break some ties there?
That means you're assuming it's a tie.
Okay, so tell me the players that are just ahead of him.
Just going off guys who could be in the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know who the coaching staff is, but these are the point guard and shooting
Dame
guards who are eligible
and
to
give
be
me
in
the
that
team
conversation.
and the record of that team, please.
I need 4 hands and 2 screens to have it all open at once. But
Yeah.
I mean, 1 sec to pull this all
Let's
open.
do it.
Make sure y'all, I'm going to take this time out to say,
Yeah.
make sure y'all go check out the Ultimate Cavs version like from yesterday that McNuggets did.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that yet.
And make sure you like and subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, man. And ring that bell to stay in the notifications for all the Ultimate spin-off shows that we got going on here.
We're getting close to 50,000 subscribers, so maybe you could be the 50,000th. So join us. Go ahead, Mike.
And we have Sean King in the wing, so we'll do this. We'll
Yeah.
wrap up. We'll bring Sean in. But
Yeah.
these are guys, Bo, I'm not putting them in any order. I'm just
Yeah.
reading down the list of Eastern Conference guard who have some sort of case to be in the All-Star discussion. And I'm going to take Brunson and Mitchell out because they're going to be the 2 starters. So
Right,
they're
okay.
not eligible
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
other
Yeah, yeah.
conversation. Tyrese Maxey, who the 76ers this season are not having a good
I'm
year.
out.
They are
He's out.
13 and 18. Maxey is averaging 26 points.
Don't care. Don't
4
care
and a
about
half
stats. Losing
rebounds,
team.
5.5 assists.
Yeah, we all out. We all out.
Losing
You
team.
keep going.
All right.
That's by the way, that's why Myles Garrett he's not defensive player of the year. The team's got 3 wins. Sorry. Goodbye.
Bull gave me the assignment. Give me a player, his
Yeah.
stats, and his record before I even got
No,
to
I
the
didn't
record.
say his stats. I said the player, the team, and the team's record. I didn't say the
Okay,
stats.
fair.
I don't care about stats.
So
Go
with
ahead.
that being said, then you would eliminate LaMelo Ball as well, Bull.
LaMelo Ball, no thanks. Your
I'm
team
just
sucks.
giving you names. Just giving you names. Just giving you names.
He's putting up empty stats.
I agree with that. Damian
They say the
Lillard
same
on the
about Joe
Milwaukee
Burrow.
Bucks. The Bucks right now
Boom.
are 17 and 14. Dame is averaging 25.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 7.6 assists.
Yeah.
Dame Dollar.
All right. But I'm already out on Maxey and Ball.
What
So,
about Dame Dollar?
I'm just going on the list. We keep
Yeah.
going.
Who else?
Cade Cunningham this year. The Pistons we just mentioned,
See
15
ya.
and 18.
See
Cade
ya.
is a lock. He's going to make the team. Just
This
heads
is
up.
ridiculous. It shouldn't just be about just stats.
What do you mean?
It shouldn't. It shouldn't matter in basketball. The stats are. If your team sucks, your stats are meaningless.
How?
Because in the other sports, like if you're the Browns, okay, Jerry Jeudy's having a good season, but if you're a bad team, you could have nobody having good stats, not a single player, right? You don't have to. There doesn't have to be one guy having a good year on a bad team. Same in baseball. If you're a the White Sox, they had nobody that was any good. Nobody. In basketball, no matter how, you could be the worst team in the history of the NBA, you're going to have somebody put up stats. Because there's a lot more points scored in basketball. Somebody's got to score. So those stats are meaningless, especially in Ball's case when that team is horrible.
Cade
Horrible.
Cunningham is going to make the All-Star. I'm just telling you right now he's going to make the All-Star.
I'm not saying whether he is or not. I'm not telling you he's not going to make it. And they're at least competitive, Detroit.
And he's averaging 24, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds.
Fine. Okay, but Mike, would you agree that LaMelo Ball stats are completely meaningless?
Meaningless, no. Overinflated, yeah.
Of course.
And I'm not making the case
He's a
for LaMelo.
chucker. He's not trying to. His goal when he gets on the court, Darius Garland's goal is to win. LaMelo Ball's goal is to pad his stats.
Earl, is anyone arguing that LaMelo should be in over Darius?
No, sir.
Okay.
None of us are arguing that.
Let's bring up Sean King.
Hey.
We got 2 more real quick. Yeah, Trae Young.
Mikey versus Bull all 2025.
No one's arguing for LaMelo.
That's true, you're right.
But it's a really loaded. Jaylen Brown's in the guard conversation because it's all considered guards.
He's supposed to be.
So it's going
supposed
to
to
be
have,
tough.
like, these
He's having an all-star
resolutions,
season no matter how you want to break it down. And hopefully the Cavs, because they do deserve 3, get 3 in the all-star game. We're going to bring